Check it out. Finally, Reemus has begun to appear in the Playbook App Store. Wow. Ooh. Dig it. Ooh. Steve managed to finish all of them. Chapters 0 to 4. All will be appearing in the App Store. 2 of them are actually in there now. The rest should probably be by the end of this week. They've been uploaded, but it takes a while to be approved. But, yeah, they're there, finally. And do you know what that means? That means Steve and I are both working on the Ballads of Reemus now. Playbook is officially done. Which is pretty awesome. And as you can see, it looks pretty cool on here. It looks... see if I can just skip the intro. It's exciting. It looks really cool on this, I'll tell you that right now. So, yeah. Oops. There's the other one right there. Nice ClickShake screen. Anyway, that's that. Which brings us to the Ballads of Reemus, which Steve and I are both working on officially together for the first time in a while. Usually it's him or me, or we're both bouncing on different things and there's only one person working on it at any given moment, but now officially we're both on it. So to celebrate, and it's also very nice outside, if you can see that. The sun's shining, no more rain, everything's going good. Got a lot of voice acting in. I bought myself a really cool blue Yeti microphone so I can start recording my Liam lines. But I've gotten some Reemus lines in, I've gotten a bunch of secondary characters in, and I've been slowly animating them. So I figured to celebrate the fact that we're both working on it today, that we'll, why don't we go through a cutscene? And in the process, why don't we check out Reemus' voice for the first time ever? Wow, you ready? Okay, let's do it. So, cutscene. What goes into a cutscene? Well, first of all, you write your script. Then you have to design your background. Then you have to design your characters. Then you have to cast that voice. And then when you get that voice, you have to edit the voice. And so, yeah, and it brings us, and you storyboard it all out, and you have to like lay out all the shots. So there's like a lot of steps. But it all comes down to this after you have all that. So I have my background. I have, which I'll show you in a minute, but I have my background, I have it storyboarded out, I have it laid out, I have the voice all edited and ready to go, and then we come down to Reemus. And Reemus has a voice by a guy named Joshua Tomar. For those of you who go to newgrounds.com will recognize him. He's done lots of voices there. I think he won vocal actor, voice actor of the year or something there. He's a really talented dude, and yeah, he's been killing it for me. He's been doing this. He's done. He's also the voice of Leopold. He's also the voice of Ludzo, and so far it'll probably be a few more voices. And while I'm giving shout-outs, the other guy is Andrew Dennis from Edible Castle. He's been doing a bunch of voices for me, and he's also amazing. So it's been awesome. It's been a lot of fun editing their voices and making these characters come to life. So, how do you make a character come to life? Well, you start with a movie clip. In this case, it's called Reemus movie clip, and you can move that movie clip anywhere you want. But the real secret lies inside the movie clip. Let me just see. So you edit it in place. See, it looks the same, but now when you highlight it, he's into a million pieces because I've made him into a puppet. Basically, Flash, you have a whole bunch of layers. See, there's layer. All these, every one of these layers is a piece of Reemus. So you see, his arms separate, his forearm, his hand, his legs, his gut is separate, his vest is separate, his head is separate, his hair is separate, blah blah blah. Even the shadow underneath him is its own thing. So why do we do that? Now we do that because we have to make him into this, like, basically he's a glorified puppet. And that's how you do it in Flash. Like, if you were to work at Disney in the 1960s, you'd be animating everything with a pencil by hand, and you'd have to draw every single frame. But that's the beauty of Flash, where you just have to draw this arm once, and then it's called tweening, where you basically say, okay, this is where it starts. So you see, here's you make keyframes. So this is where it starts, and this is where that one ends. See the difference? So it starts there. It's going to end there. So basically, you make your start frames, and you make your end frames, and then you press a button, and they go like this. They just do everything on their own. But you got to lay out every keyframe. So every one of those dots is a keyframe. In some cases, the hand, and then you draw different hands. So I have a hand like that, and I have a hand like that. Hopefully this is making sense. I'm trying. It's hard to do with one hand, but you'll see. So this is what you do. You give them some acting. That's how you animate the body. Then you go inside the head, and I've done the same for the head, where it's every piece is a separate layer. There's his eyes. He has the whites of his eyes separate, pupils its own layer, his nose, and his mouth. And if you go inside his mouth next, you'll see that there's about 9 frames of different mouths. And then on the main head timeline, you call to those mouths. These are all the different mouth positions. So I like to stretch my mouth. So that's the A mouth, and then that's the E mouth, the I. So let me pull in some voice acting. So the way you lip sync it is you stick the vocal track above, and then you kind of scratch through it like this. And you hear it? And then you have to listen to it and try and match the mouth with that sound. And when you get it done, it looks like this.
Listen, I've learned to let go, and I think you should too. That last encounter, I think we just got off on the wrong foot.
So you see I've animated the entire head, eyes, mouth, to give it a bit of a performance. So, you know, his eyes pop open, and maybe he blinks, and you know, he has this kind of coy look at the end. So once you get that head will kind of continue on its own timeline. So you can just stick that in there, and then you can animate the whole head, and the mouth will keep doing what you told it to do inside. And you combine that with the body, and then you have a full performance. Watch. Ready?
Listen, I've learned to let go, and I think you should too. That last encounter, I think we just got off on the wrong foot.
So you have a full Reemus performance, and then once you have that, oops, not that. That's a different scene. Where is it? Okay, here. You drop in your backgrounds. Now we have Liam, and Liam has done. I've done the same thing for Liam that I have for Reemus, where he's broken down into a whole bunch of different parts, and I animate him looking kind of intimidated. He's looking around, not quite sure what to do. And so they both are going to do their own thing on the timeline. You create a giant timeline that's as long as the voice clip. There's the background, there's the other character. You lay out your scene, and then
Listen,
they all work together.
I've learned to let go, and I think you should too. That last encounter, I think we just got off on the wrong foot.
And there you have it. One scene from, or one panel, I guess you would call it. One panel from one cutscene. That's how much goes into one. And this cutscene probably has, I don't know, 10 shots? 10 different shots? Yeah, shots, not scenes. So this is one shot out of probably 10 shots in one cutscene. And I have 15 cutscenes that I wanted to do. So now you see why I kind of started to have a change of heart and say, okay, maybe some of these cutscenes can go into the game, because that takes a long time. There's a lot of pieces to that puzzle, and there's really no fast way around it. Like, especially lip syncing. You heard that you have to scratch through and match each mouth. It takes forever, and that's fast compared to like old school animation where they had to draw every one of those mouths and all the transitions. It's animation is a crazy art form, and it's so time consuming and so nutty. But it looks so cool when it's done that people are like, let's animate it, and they forget how much time goes into it, including me, who wrote a whole bunch of cutscenes, kind of blocking out the traumatic nature of animation. And now I'm like, wow, what did I do to myself? But committed, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get through it, and it's gonna be cool. So this game has got a lot going on, a lot of story, a lot of characters, a lot of voices. It's gonna be really cool, and I'm really excited for you to play it, see it, and I'm really excited that Steve and I are both working on it at the same time. So check back on that little graph we did, because that thing is going to start lighting up like crazy. Steve is like already grinding through it at an amazing pace. I guess that's it for now. This has been a big one, chocked full of surprises and information. Yeah, I'm just going to get back to it now, because I got a lot to do. Alright, till next time.